Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I work for Montgomery County Public Libraries. I do outreach. Essentially, my job is to promote library services and programs outside of the libraries to reach people that either cannot visit the library or are unable for many reasons. And so that's pretty much what I do. In pre-COVID, I traveled around the county, participated in a lot of community events. Of course, we're still in COVID mode, and so we're very cautious, just like everybody else. And so we are very fortunate to have this platform of Zoom, where we can continue to promote library services virtually. So I'm going to share a screen. And like Catherine said, if you see something that you know prompts you to ask a question, put it on the chat. That way you won't forget to ask at the end. And I will try my best to answer all of the questions as best I can, and provided that we have enough time to cover all of them. Okay, so. And so that you have a better view, I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to close my camera, and that way you can just, you don't have to really see me. You can just see the entire presentation here on your screen. So welcome to MCPL. And as you know, MCPL is a place where we meet, read, and learn. And even though we were closed temporarily, we are still a place where we can meet online. We have a lot of online programs that I will share with you later through this presentation. So very quickly, what I will cover, I like to share this just so that you don't feel overwhelmed with a PowerPoint presentation and feel this is going to be a very long presentation. It won't. Mainly going to cover, highlighted services at our physical libraries, how to access digital books and other streaming content, and the Washington Consumer Checkbook. That was something that was requested, so I curated this presentation specifically to discuss the Washington Consumer's Checkbook. And why I am going to discuss about digital books and other content, because many of us are still at home, and there are many online library services, ebooks, audiobooks that you can access directly from home. So that is why I'm going to talk about those subjects. So moving on to services, as you are aware, we have large print books, audiobooks, and computers. And the audiobooks at our libraries, they come in like, they're no longer a CD. They are what they call play away. All you need is a headset or a pair of headphones that you connect, and then you hit the play button. We have computers that you can access at most of our branches to look up anything. We have temporarily discontinued some of our physical newspapers, but we have them all online. Okay, I also want to bring this up because it's important: accessibility and inclusion. We provide services to those that because of a physical disability are not able to physically visit a library. We have a special program called Books at Home, which provides free library materials that are mailed to the customer via UPS. And this is for someone who is physically unable to walk into a library. Now, you'll see there's a little bracket there. Application is required, so that is done through the state. We have the form available online, and if you have everything and it goes through, then you become a Books at Home customer, and you don't have to come into the library. to pick up your books. We'll mail them to you. You send us the titles that you want, and then you send them back, and then you can request another set of books. We also have captioning and sign language, interpretation services for our library programs, particularly our virtual programs, because although we are now open to the public, we are still not bringing back in-person programs. We're waiting for county guidance on that. We expect it probably sometime soon. I don't know exactly when, but we have a lot of virtual programs at the library through Zoom. And so if you need captioning, that is something that could be requested. We also have assistive technology computer stations at our physical branches. And these are a small computer station with a height adjustable table, a magnifier that reads out loud printed text, and it also has a large print keyboard. So we do have that station at select branches. All right, so now let's move on to our digital collection. I'm going to talk about Hoopla. Hoopla is a third-party platform that the library subscribes to, so that customers can have access to a variety of digital content. For instance, ebooks, audiobooks, movies, and music. And this is all of this is accessible through Hoopla. And the great thing about this is it's free with your library card, and you only need to create an account one time, and you get access to all of those things. So how do you access Hoopla? Well, first, you need a library card, a computer with Wi-Fi or a mobile device with internet, and an email to create a Hoopla account. So where do you find Hoopla? You visit our website, as you see on your screen, and there's a couple of images here. We have several tabs, and I'll give you a demonstration. This is just a screenshot. Books and more, that will be your first tab, and right at the bottom it says ebooks. And then it'll bring you to this next screen at the bottom, and there's Hoopla right there. And if you don't see it, no worries, because I do have a demonstration to show you. And I'm going to switch screens so that I can share my video. So bear with me 1 second while I switch screens. Okay. All right, so how do you access Hoopla? First, you start with a regular browser, whether it's Microsoft Edge, Google, or Safari. Just type Montgomery County Public Libraries. And then make sure that you select the one that says Montgomery MD for Maryland, because there are other Montgomery County Public Library systems with that same name. I think there's one in Ohio and possibly one in Texas. And sometimes people get them confused, or sometimes people confuse Montgomery County Public Libraries with Montgomery County Public Schools. So that happens a lot. So just make sure it says Public Libraries and that you're in, that says md.gov. Okay, so this is our website. And these are all the tabs that I mentioned earlier. And there's books and more. The drop-down menu, select ebooks. And just say no thanks to that pop-up. And now ebooks and audio, there is Hoopla. You can see that. And then you select that button that says Open Resource. And this will take you directly to the Hoopla platform. So I do want to point out that if you've never used Hoopla, then you want to create an account and you're going to select Get Started. And you will need to provide some information, as I mentioned earlier, an email. You confirm that email, create your password, make sure it's 8 to 4 characters, confirm that password, and hit the agree button. And now I'm going to fast forward this. So I have a little note here. Make sure you have your library card handy, because Hoopla will ask you to verify if you're a library member and what library you belong to. And so basically you will have to type Montgomery County Public Libraries, because there are other library systems that provide Hoopla as well. But if you're a Montgomery County library member, you look for Montgomery County, and then it'll prompt you to enter your library card in your PIN. Remember, your PIN is your 4-digit birth year. Anyone that gets a library card, by default, everyone gets a password, and that is the 4-digit birth year, unless you specifically came back to a branch and said, I want to change it. If you've never done that, then your password is your 4-digit birth year, and that should be easy to remember. Okay, so moving along. Okay, so once you confirm your library membership, you are officially signed into Hoopla. And this is what it looks like. And I'm gonna just scroll down very quickly and show you all the different kinds of things. So there's genres and collection if you wanna browse like that. Recently added titles to Hoopla. New and trending audiobooks. There's a lot of Valentine and romance themes here because we're February. And of course, there's children books. New York Times bestseller, book club recommendations. So let's go back up. And I want to show you some features in the menu at the top. So under My Hoopla, it gives you all of the information under your account, the titles you currently borrowed, your favorite titles, and you can also see a history of all of the titles that you have either read or listened to. And here's one feature here. If you're searching for a title, you can browse by category up here: audiobooks, comics, ebooks, movies, music, television, and Binge Pass. So that is something very neat. It allows you to filter your search at the search bar over here. And I want to quickly talk about Binge Passes. So Binge Passes gives you unlimited access to great online content like the great courses in magazines. And let me go back quickly. I do want to point out that Hoopla gives you, you can access your content immediately. If you have ever used any other platform for ebooks, you might know that sometimes if it's a popular title, you may have to put a digital copy on hold because it's so much in demand, everyone wants to read them. With Hoopla, there are no holds. Your content is available immediately. However, you do have a limit of 10 items a month. And so the purpose of the Binge Pass is if you want to read magazines, if you select, if you get a Binge Pass, it gives you access for 7 days, and you can look at a number of magazines, and it still counts as one checkout. So if you read through 30 magazines in a week, it still counts as one checked out item. So that's what's nice about the Binge Pass. So I'm going to exit now, and I'm going to switch screens and go back to our presentation and get to our next topic. Okay, we've done that. Okay, hidden gems. You might have seen the great courses highlighted there. Hoopla also has a British TV series, and as I mentioned, the digital magazines. Okay, so here's what we want to get into for today, the Washington Consumer's Checkbook. So what is it? Basically, it helps you find the best service and avoid the worst. It provides quality and price information to help you make a smarter choice. And thousands of loyal members can write reviews based on their real life experience. So if you've ever read the consumer reports, the consumer report will give you reviews and ratings on products like kitchen appliances and things like that. And the Washington Consumer's Checkbook gives you ratings on service. So how do you access this database? Again, you go to our website. Always start from our website, because if you go directly to the platform itself, I don't know if you would, I don't know if you would have access to all of the features, let's put it that way. Because you're a library member, you get all the features, and the only thing you need is your library card. It will prompt you to provide a library card. And here's a little screenshot. It says, welcome to the Washington's Consumer Checkbook provided by MCPL patrons. And if you see down here, it says card number, enter your library card number. And so you would enter that so that you get access to the platform. Okay. And where do I find the consumer's checkbook? Again, we will visit our website. And if you recall those tabs at the top, this time we're going to do Learn and Research. And under Learn and Research, we have a consumer information category. And you will select that, and that will take you directly to databases for consumer information. Okay, so now I am going to switch screens again, because I will give you a demonstration of the Washington Consumer's Checkbook. And this is probably the longest video. It's about 8 minutes. I'm gonna go through several examples to give you an idea of how to conduct a search. So bear with me while I switch screens. Okay. All right, so again, you Google Montgomery County Public Libraries on whichever browser you use. And there is Montgomery County MD.gov. That's where I want to go. And we're back on the main page. Now, remember those tabs. We're going to go to Learn and Research. And on the drop-down menu, Consumer Information. And we have two options, Consumer Reports and the Washington's Consumer Checkbook. We're going to click that Open Resource button so that it takes us directly to the site. Now you may notice that I'm going to pause here. You may notice I wasn't prompted to enter a library card, and that's because I did this recording at the library, and so I was on the library internet network, and so it didn't ask for it, but I do notice that when I try to access the service outside of the library, it does ask me for my library card. So just wanted to point that out. So here's a little guy. So basically, there are some very good topics here, or maybe the most popular ones: auto service, healthcare providers, home service, financial service, pet care stores, travel and leisure. So those are already there, but if you don't find what you're looking for, you can always search. So if you see at the top right, we have a search bar up here. If you don't see the service that you're looking for, you can search for it. So for this demonstration, we're gonna look for plumbers, okay? Because that's something essential, right, for our homes, and it gives you an overview, the ratings and articles and advice. So let's look at the ratings, okay? And there's 209. And these are the features up here. I'm gonna pause it. These are very key features that I want you to pay attention to, and we're gonna go over several other examples. But these are very helpful for your search, and I'll explain why. So here you specify what county you're looking for the service. So select Montgomery County. I'm looking for quality, and I'm also looking for price. And here are some of the results. There's the price range, the rating, and comments. These are, you can select more to see all of the reviews or the comments by actual people, and you can see them here. So we're gonna go back up. I'm gonna go back to that screen. And we are going to look at more filters. So if you wanna look at just 50, or maybe you wanna see everything, you can do that. And let's say you wanna look at the number of ratings. You wanna see that at the sorted that way, you can. And now I'm gonna pause here. As you can see, the first one starts off with a 93% of ratings on that one right there. So before I think it was something else, but if you want to see the top ratings at the very first of your results, you could do that through the filters up here. And you can also compare a couple of them. So I'm going to select two. If you see that box at the bottom, I'm going to select another one so that I can compare the price and the quality of the service. When you do that, you see a little box, compare selected, you click it, and there's the comparison. It's 8% lower in price. This one says 19%. There's a slight change in price here. You can look at consumer ratings at the very bottom as well. There are comments. You can compare the comments also. So let's go back to the site. Advanced articles. That's also an option, and it gives you some very cool features, plumbing do's and don'ts, and how to find a good plumber. Let's do another search just for practice and to kind of help us review what I kind of went through earlier. So air conditioning, that's another essential thing for home, right? Let's look at some of the ratings. So again, select Montgomery County. price. I'm not going to select quality this time. I'm just going to select price, right? I want the best price and I want the best overall quality rating, right? I'm going to apply those filters. And here's my very first one, says 97% of ratings. And again, you can select a couple here. It pretty much gives you the same thing as the other previous search. So let's try and see if we can compare a couple. Okay, and here's a comparison. I quickly selected two. There's price difference here. One is 79, the other one's 95. And then complaints and consumer comments, that's also there. All right, let's try another search, something different. Let's try hair salons. Okay, you see there's a much higher rating. I would say that's probably because salon is probably a very popular service. And so there's way more ratings on salons than there is for plumbing and air conditioning. So let's go ahead and look at their ratings for that. And you may notice something different. Because there's many more ratings, you can actually look by zip code instead of selecting the county. So I'm going to, I want something that's within 10 miles. I don't want to drive too far. And here's my Silver Spring 20901 zip code. And I want ratings, the one with the highest ratings. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I'm gonna sort it to number of ratings. We'll do it that way. And this is your result. And again, you can compare. You can compare one salon from the other. You see the comments. I'm going to apply. I'm going to compare, I'm sorry. And I'm comparing 3, and you can only compare up to 3 services. It won't allow you more than 3. So there's one negative comment down there, but let's try something else. And this time we're going to try some of the already suggested categories up at the top. So we're going to try pet care. And this is very neat because there's multiple services within pet care. There's grooming, trainers, walkers, veterinarians. And again, same thing, because there's higher ratings, you don't have to do the county anymore. You can just do by zip code. So I'm going to do 20901 Silver Spring, apply. And I want the one with the highest ratings. And there you have it. It's all filtered with the top. Okay, that's me trying to do 4 comparisons, but it wouldn't let me. 3 is a max. So there's the 3 comparisons. And how about we try auto service? Because that's another popular service. There's body shop, detailers, glass repair, insurance, repair shop, dealerships, car washes, and tire stores. So you have all those categories within auto service. Again, the overview and the ratings. and I'm looking for something that's within 5 miles. And I think this time I'm going to try a different zip code. I'm going to look for something in Rockville, 20850. And I want quality over price just because a vehicle is something essential. You want it to be something that will last. So basically, I know I kind of ran through this, but again, don't worry, we're going to have an open Q&A towards the end. So let's see what else we have. I mentioned earlier virtual programs, and we have book clubs, health, music, dance, personal finance, computers, arts and crafts, writers group, and other special events. And this is available also at our website. I do want to point out that our website has a special web page for seniors. And there you see, this is what the seniors page looks like. And I also want to mention there's not enough time to cover all that we have at the libraries, but we do have other, online databases and resources. And here, this is within the seniors website. You will find this list of frequently requested resources. And here's the county senior site, the HHS senior page, the State Department of Aging, Maryland Consumer Guide for Long-Term Care, Social Security, and Medicare. So this is also within the senior page. Okay, now I know I mentioned a lot of things here. Remember, if you ever need help with downloading or checking out a digital book or a digital audio book, or you're stuck on the Washington Consumer's Checkbook, you can't remember how to start, where to find it, you can also always use our Ask a Librarian service. There's 2 ways you can reach us, by phone at the number you see on the screen, or you can submit your question online. And this is also available at the senior page. And this is what it looks like. Here's the senior page, and here's the Ask a Librarian button. If you click on this button, it'll take you straight to the Ask a Librarian service, and you will have the option to submit your question there. But if you prefer to speak to someone live, you can also call. Okay, so before I give my final thank you, I'm going to now stop sharing. Well, I'll leave it on in case you want me to show you something. And Catherine, I don't know if there's any questions.
Oh, yes.
On the chat. Okay.
Yeah. So first, I wanted to really thank you, though, for preparing this special demo for us with Washington Consumer Checkbooks. I know that the issue of finding contractors is big in a lot of people's minds, and it's a great resource. So first, there were a couple in the chat that I was also able to answer, and I'll just repeat that. Someone asked, is there a Hoopla phone app so you can listen to audiobooks on your phone? Yes, that is I use that all the time myself. Someone also asked, can you use Hoopla if you use a wired Ethernet connection rather than Wi-Fi to connect to the internet?
I would say depending on the device. If you're on a computer that's connected to that Ethernet cable, yes. But any mobile device that is not able to connect to that Ethernet cable probably won't work.
Okay.
Does that
So
make
yeah,
sense?
you need Wi-Fi if you're using the app on your phone. And then someone said, sorry, let me just scroll down. Are reference books and resources such as Washingtonian Top Doctors and Consumer Reports permanently discontinued on site at the library? will they be included and accessible at no charge online?
I know that we've discontinued a lot of articles such as the Consumer Reports and some newspapers. This happened a lot during COVID, mostly. I haven't heard anything about making this permanent. So I hope that they will resume. I just don't know when. I think the issue is that if you recall, magazines and newspapers and Consumer Reports, a lot of people have access to them. And so I think there was some concern, and it was just best to provide them online. So we do have the Washington Post online, the New York Times online, and let me see if I can quickly show you on my screen here. And I'm just gonna go back to these little, this is the main page and these are the tabs. Learn and research. This is where basically your go-to for all online resources. And here are magazines and newspapers. You want to select that. And I just want to show you what's available. So I'm going to go down here. There's the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, the Consumer Checkbook, Washington Post. So magazines and newspapers are, for the moment, online. We hope to have them available in print. I just don't know when. And I don't know if that's going to be a permanent change. So I don't have an answer to that.
I'm looking, and it does look like they're available online now with a library card. There, I'm just gonna put a link in the chat real quick.
Yes, all of the newspapers that were physically at the branch, they're no longer there. Let me just clarify. So what I was trying to say is we have them available online, and they are free with your library card. So if you don't have a library card, you won't be able to access the newspaper database. So I encourage you to get one if you don't have it.
Yes, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. So now someone also asked, is it better to use Hoopla instead of Overdrive to borrow and audiobooks? So I will just say real quick, and I don't know if you have more to elaborate, Febe, that I find that the Overdrive app personally allows you to make the sound louder on an audiobook if you're not listening with headphones, like if you're just have your phone somewhere. So sometimes I prefer Overdrive's better sound, but at the same time, it is true the selection is different. I often will find that a book is on Hoopla for an audiobook that is not available on Overdrive, and vice versa. So they're actually both great for, if you're trying to find a specific book, they can both be really good resources for that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of the sound difference, but like you pointed out, me personally, I have all of the ebook platforms because, like you said, it's based on selection. Hoopla may have a book that's not on Overdrive, or Overdrive may have a book that's not on Hoopla. So I switch. If I go with whichever platforms has what I want. Now, what I do like about Hoopla, and the big difference between Hoopla and Overdrive, is the content on Hoopla is available immediately. If you're on Overdrive, there's a title that just came out, a brand new book. You may find that you're going to have to put that book on hold, even though it's a digital copy. The library buys, say, for example, 26 copies of this new title. And so because it's new, it's high in demand, everybody's reading it. And so you have to wait. Sometimes if it's a brand new book, it could take weeks. So That's the only difference. Hoopla, there's no wait, no holds. In Overdrive, if the book is available, you can check it out right then and there. If it's not, you have to put it on hold and wait.
Yeah, big difference. Someone said the slide says access to the website through a mobile device. Can it be accessed from a computer as well? This was, I guess, about 120. I'm not sure.
Yes. You can access MCPL website from any device, a computer, a desktop, a tablet, Android, iPhone.
And does Checkbook provide ratings on physicians?
I believe they do. Let me go back to the page. I believe there was a healthcare category, if I recall. There's consumer information, and here's Checkbook. I'm gonna open. Okay, here. This is a part where I said earlier, it'll prompt you. Now I know it by heart, so I can quickly enter that.
It's truly impressive.
I use my library card a lot. Okay, so let's see. I want to go back to that menu. Okay, here, healthcare providers. So there is, now it's categorized by specific titles here. Popular, what's popular, acupuncture, aging in place, doctor board certification, surgeon ratings, doctors, dentists. And then there's more ratings, emergency, laboratory, laser eye surgery, therapy. So yes, we do have that.
And great. And then also, so we had another question kind of similar that we already answered, that, well, Libby is the same as Overdrive in terms of they're kind of both similar platforms, both relying on the library's resources.
Yeah, Libby is basically owned by Overdrive. The difference between Libby and Overdrive, I find that Libby is a little bit more user-friendly. It's more clear, it's probably more simple. It has doesn't have, well, the icons are pretty straightforward. I just find it easier to navigate Libby, but they're essentially the same. It's owned by Overdrive.
Yeah, so in answer to the question is, do they draw on this, do Hoopla and Libby draw on the same database? It's no, because Libby and Overdrive are going with what the county's book selection is, and then Hoopla is its own thing.
Yeah.
And then someone said, what app gives us the widest access to materials, both within Montgomery County libraries and other libraries outside Montgomery County?
Which mobile app gives access?
The widest access to materials. So I think what the person's saying is, for example, you can get access to DC materials maybe as well as Montgomery County. I think I recall last I checked that Hoopla is not used by DC libraries, but I don't know if that's changed or for sure. But
yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm not sure. The question, is it asking which library system has the widest service, or which?
No, like if you wanted to download one app to have the widest access, would it be Hoopla or Overdrive, I think is the idea.
Okay, so I say Hoopla because Hoopla gives you streaming. You can stream movies, TV series. You can listen to music. You have access to the magazines. You have access to ebooks and audiobooks, and it's all in one platform. Now, I know that Libby, if I'm not mistaken, Libby is only Libby and Overdrive only provide ebooks and audiobooks. And I think Libby has digital magazines, but that's it. There's no music, there's no TV streaming. It's just ebooks, and Libby has digital magazines.
Yeah, they're kind of different animals. Like if you want a lot of different stuff in one place, it's Hoopla. If you're looking for different library systems, materials, that'd be Overdrive. But either way, I think if you have room on your phone for both apps, it's probably best, or on your tablet, because then you get really the widest variety. Someone asked if Hoopla is replacing Flipster, but I think they're different, right? Flipster's just magazines.
Yeah, they're different. Flipster is a platform. It's a database that gives you magazines as well, but the selection is very small, and we continue to provide Flipster, but it's not a replacement. Hopefully, it's like its own thing because they have quite a range of digital content.
Mm-hmm. And someone asked about the recording, so I will send the recording to everyone who registered. If you somehow got the link and are on here and you didn't register, please message me, so make sure you get the recording. Febe also gave me a nice handout with more information too that I will send out along with the recording. And someone asked about if a Wi-Fi connection is needed to listen to an audiobook, or can you use a cellular connection? Actually, I think for Overdrive, am I correct, Febe, that you can download it and then you can listen without even any internet? Or with Libby?
Yes, you do need to be connected during the download process. So let me give you an example. I do this a lot if I'm traveling and I know I'm going to be somewhere without internet. To download the title first, you have to be connected, right? Because you need internet. Once it's downloaded, you can read or listen to your book wherever you are. You could be in somewhere without any internet at all and still have access to your content. But it must be downloaded with internet connection, or it won't work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and well, someone asked again about the differences between Hoopla, Overdrive, and Libby, which I think we've answered, right? I mean, Libby and Overdrive, pretty similar.
Yeah.
Libby maybe has a more user-friendly platform. Hoopla just offers different mediums, and you don't have to check it out from the library, right? Someone asked, I've called Ask a Librarian from overseas when I had problems using online materials. It was hard to access an available librarian for the amount of time I needed. But I was calling during service hours. Any suggestions?
Okay, so I get this a lot. It's very hard to walk through someone the steps of troubleshooting something when you're not physically there and you can't really see. And because we are a service that is also high in demand, we get calls all of the time. It's really, we can't really spend 30 minutes to an hour with someone walking them through because we are a service that is highly in demand. We have people that are calling the branch. If they can't call, if they don't get through the branch, those calls transfer over to Ask a Librarian. So we're answering calls for customers that are trying to get a hold of the branch. And so it's hard. They try their best to help customers troubleshoot. But again, sometimes they come across a difficulty where the person on the phone is kind of depending on what information you're relaying and kind of going along with what the customer is pretty much sharing and trying to troubleshoot it that way. That can be hard. It's not the same as being in person and having access and being able to walk through. It's much quicker. So I am very sorry that you weren't able to get someone to walk you through for that long period of time, or that your issue wasn't resolved at the moment.
All right. Someone says, I haven't used my library card in years and it doesn't allow me to sign onto the website. Do I need to reactivate my account?
Yes, that's a good question. If you have a library card that you haven't used in more than a year, what happens is it's deleted from the system. So to keep it active, you have to use it at least once a year. Just check out one book or check out something online. That way, the system can, see that there's been some activity on that card number. If it's not letting you log in, most likely, you need to reactivate it. So for that, you will have to go to a branch, I'm afraid, to do that.
And related, how do you get a library card if you don't have one?
Okay, well, that's easy. You visit any of our local branches. We have 20 locations throughout the whole county. Down county, mid county, upper county. I think the farthest we have a branch is Damascus. So visit any branch. Make sure you bring an ID, a driver's license. It has your picture ID and your address. And that's all that's needed.
Okay. So sorry, I'm just trying to go through. Someone said we used to be able to get TV and movies with Acorn, and that's no longer accessible through the library. Will we get that back? Are you familiar with Acorn?
Acorn is available through Hoopla. So earlier, I think I mentioned the British TV series. Those are all through Acorn TV, and that's on Hoopla. Yeah.
Okay. Are the New York Times and Washington Post available current each morning?
They should be, yes.
Okay. And what about the current Washingtonian Best Doctors issue and Bethesda Best Doctors issue online? Or when would those be available?
Let me go back to the site and see if that's something that we have available. I'm going to go back to Learn and Research, and actually, I'm going to do some. I'm going to do A through Z. I'm just going to look at everything. You said it was the Washingtonian.
Yeah.
I don't see it listed.
Okay.
I don't know if it's available through another database. That could be another option, but I don't know for sure.
Okay. Sorry, lots of questions. So a few people are asking, is using one of these online resources enough to count as using your library card? Like for keeping it active? Like if you're checking things out on Overdrive or using Hoopla?
I'm not 100% sure about the online resource, but as far as the digital books through Overdrive in Libby, I would say possibly yes, because you can check out a book on Hoopla. Hoopla in Overdrive through your library account. Right here, if you see this little sign in, you enter your library card number and your password, and you can see all of the books that you've read through Hoopla and Overdrive. So those titles will show up under your account. Now, like things like the Washington Checkbook, that's not something that is kept on record under your account. So I'm not sure that if you only access online resource, that's the best way to keep your account current. I think it's when you check out a physical material or a digital material, that's when your library card keeps a record.
Okay, what about putting a hold on a book? You just put a hold on it and then not read it to count, or?
I would think so.
Okay.
Just make sure you cancel it.
Yes. So then someone also was asking about, is there a way to obtain a library card in the midst of a pandemic by not going to the branch office, or do you really have to go in person?
We do have what we call under services. If you see up here, get a library card. You can sign up for a digital library card. And there's a quick note here. Make sure you write down your ID and your password, because you're doing this from your device. And so if you forget, it'll be difficult. You would then have to come to a branch to fix that. And so if you click on that, it'll ask you for all of your information. What's your home library address? And here's the password that you have to create. And let me just read something. It says here, digital cards may be used to place holds on desired titles and use most online services. If you already have a library card, you don't need to apply for a digital card.
And so does Checkbook publish? So Checkbook publishes editions in the US outside of Washington. Is there access to those other editions, or just Washington? It looked like it was just Washington Checkbook, but I guess just to make sure.
Yeah, I think we only have a Washington's Checkbook.
Okay. And then someone asked about how does Hoopla stream movies? How is it different from Canopy? So I know that Canopy is just movies, whereas Hoopla has movies and TV shows and, the other stuff like audiobooks and the soundtracks like Encanto or other popular albums sometimes. So Hoopla is just more than Canopy. Oh. In that case, I think we basically covered it all. Again, that Libby, Hoopla, and Overdrive, if you're using those, that counts as using your card, and you got to download it over Wi-Fi. But then you don't have to. I guess I don't know if Hoopla you have to be on Wi-Fi, because it doesn't download, I don't think, right?
You do need to be connected initially with Hoopla. You do need to be connected to the internet, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay. The other ones, though, since it's just books, you can download it and then not be on Wi-Fi to listen later.
Right.
Okay. Let me see if there. Oh, can you download? So you can't download the cellular connection. It has to be with Wi-Fi.
Say that again. Can you download Hoopla? So
if you're downloading an ebook or an audiobook, can it initially be over your cell phone, or does it have to be over Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry about any confusion there. So as long as there's some kind of data, your cell phone or Wi-Fi, you can download it. So I'm just looking. Okay. Everyone, thanks you for the very helpful and informative session. Any final questions? All right. Well, we're about at time. Thank you again so much, Febe, and thank you everyone for joining us. And again, I will send this recording out sometime after. It will definitely be sometime this week, and along with a nice handout that Febe gave us. So thanks again. No problem. Also, I will. Speaking of books, we do have a February 23rd event with an author, Michael Gibson, who writes World War II novels. So I will include that link as well. So in case you're interested or registering for that. So thanks again, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.